A long time ago, India was called the land of spices. Pepper, cardamom, and ginger grew here. People in Europe loved these spices because they made food tasty and fresh. Traders carried these spices from India to Europe. But Europeans could not come to India directly. Arab traders first carried the spices to a great city called Constantinople. There, Italian merchants bought them and transported them across Europe. This meant Arabs controlled Asian trade, and Italians controlled European trade. By the time spices reached European homes, they had become very, very costly. Asterisk. Then, in the year 1453, something big happened. The Ottoman Turks attacked and captured Constantinople. They blocked the old land routes between Asia and Europe. Heavy taxes were forced on traders. Because of this, Indian spices became even more expensive and trade almost stopped. Europeans worried, how will we get our favorite spices now? Europe had to find another way. That is when countries like Portugal and Spain encouraged brave sailors to search for a new sea route to India. If they could sail directly, they would not have to pass through Constantinople or pay high taxes. The dream of explorers was clear: find a new way to India. Luckily, new inventions made these journeys possible. The compass always pointed north, helping sailors find their direction. The astrolabe measured the stars, guiding ships across the seas. Stronger ships with better sails could travel longer distances. And with gunpowder and cannons, sailors felt safe from pirates and enemies. These discoveries gave Europeans the courage to explore the unknown oceans. So children, this is how the fall of Constantinople and the search for new routes opened the way for Europeans to come to India. And the very first among them were the Portuguese. Their arrival would change India's history forever. In 1498, a brave sailor from Portugal, Vasco da Gama, set sail across unknown seas. Ship after months of struggle, his ship finally reached Calicut on the Malabar coast. The local ruler, the Zamorin, welcomed him warmly. The Portuguese became the first Europeans to set up trade in India. They bought pepper, cardamom, and other spices and sold them in Europe at huge profits. For a time, their power grew strong, but soon, new rivals from Europe would arrive. After the Portuguese came the Dutch. They also traded in spices and set up factories in India. But their influence did not last very long. Then arrived the English and the French. Both were powerful, both wanted to control India's trade. Soon, they became fierce rivals. The Dutch faded away quietly, but the English and French stayed to fight for power. This rivalry led to 3 great wars in South India, called the Carnatic Wars. Soldiers marched, cannons roared, and Indian rulers joined on both sides. At first, victory moved back and forth, sometimes the French, sometimes the English. But in the end, the English defeated the French. With this victory, the English became the strongest European power in India, and the French influence slowly faded away. A turning point came in 1757, the famous Battle of Plassey. The Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dowlah, fought bravely against the English led by Robert Clive. But his own commander, Mir Zafar, betrayed him. In the middle of the battle, Mir Zafar's army stood still and did not fight. Because of this betrayal, the Nawab was defeated. The English now controlled Bengal, the richest province of India, and their power grew like never before. But Indian rulers did not give up easily. In 1764, 3 mighty leaders joined hands: Shuja-ud-Dowlah, the Nawab of Oudh; Shah Alam II, the Mughal Emperor, and Mir Qasim of Bengal. Together, they faced the English in the Battle of Buxar. But once again, the English army proved stronger. The Indian rulers were defeated, and from this victory, the English became the undisputed masters of Bengal, with the right to collect revenue. This marked a giant step in their rule over India. After the Battle of Buxar, the English introduced a system called dual government in Bengal. They collected taxes and controlled the army, while the Nawab sat on the throne only in name. The English treasure chests grew full of Bengal's wealth, but the people suffered under heavy taxes and poor administration. The Nawabs became weak, powerless figures, and Bengal slipped fully under English control. From Bengal, the English spread their power to the rest of India. They signed treaties, used clever policies, and fought battles with Indian rulers. Step by step, they defeated strong kingdoms, Mysore under Tipu Sultan, the mighty Marathas, and even the brave Sikhs. With each victory, their empire grew. Soon, the British flag spread across most of India, and the foundation of British rule was firmly laid. Let's quickly revise. Vasco da Gama arrived in 1498, and the Portuguese began trade. Then came the Dutch, English, and French. The English defeated the French in the Carnatic Wars. In 1757, they won the Battle of Plassey. In 1764, the Battle of Buxar gave them full control of Bengal. Dual government made them rich, and soon their empire expanded across India. Finally, the English became the supreme rulers of the land, changing India's history forever.